Honestly, like influenced by artists like Dom Kennedy and Nipsey Hussle.
You can't be doing this here.
That's fine.
But
That's
sorry, you can't be filming in the lobby.
Was it me or was he like a little
very.
Very. You know, I'm not going to even ask the lady. I said, "Can I speak to the manager?" And she said, "I'm the manager," and she said that I could do it.
Let's go ask her.
Huh?
Well, she's at the front desk.
Yeah.
Vision Scope Podcast.
All right, it is I says he. Hey, it's your boy DJ Majesty. Look, and we back with another episode. And look, hey, you know, normally I say, look, this is a special treat, but this is past a special treat. You guys, hey, look, this is legendary. Hey, look, let me just break it down for you right now. You know what I'm saying? This man I got sitting with me. Look, some of his credits, just to name a few. You know what I mean? We got Nike. You know what I'm saying? We got DJ Cool Nuts. You know what I'm saying? He got Slump Village, La Russell, E40, Neff the Pharaoh, Blue, Sky Zoo, and Gift of Gab, RP, you know what I'm saying, and more. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, look, and he's steady working. You know what I'm saying? Just this 3 year, he produced what I want to say three albums. Wait, probably four albums just this year. You know what I mean? Hey, is that including Pricey or Pricey was last year?
No, Pricey top of this year. Yeah.
So is that five? Or that still
well, it's 4 that are out, and I got another 5th one that's like done, that's waiting to come out. I'm not sure if it's gonna drop this year or not, but 4 that dropped officially.
All right, he dropped 4.
Plus a whole bunch of other stuff.
Yeah, plus a whole bunch of other stuff. We're not getting to all the stuff he dropped last year. We just gonna say this is 2022. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And we not look. I'm not gonna hold you no longer, man. This man, he's not just a producer. He's an MC. You know what I mean? He's an entrepreneur. You know, and he's a man of many talents. You know, and we're gonna get into those talents that I don't even know. You know what I'm saying? But hey, look, hold you no further. From the Portland area, now he resides in the Bay. You know what I'm saying? Hey, my man Tope. I call him his name is Tope, but I call him It's Tope. You know, all the time. You know, that's his IG name. You know what I'm saying? So he be like, hey, you see it's Tope, but I know it's Tope. You know what I'm saying? What's up, my man? Once again,
long time coming.
Long time coming, man. I've been trying to tap into this guy since about February. I came down to the Bay. I did it kind of last minute, and our schedules just didn't coincide. Yeah. But hey, you know, so you patiently wait, and things have come since then. Right. Oh my fucking God! You know what I'm saying?
It gets greater later.
This guy, you know what I'm saying? Hey, I ain't one of those guys, but I guess I'm about to be one of those guys. You know what I'm saying? It's like I knew it, you know, but I didn't know it from the beginning because I didn't know it from the beginning. But I knew it since I tell you when I knew it, right? When what the fuck am I doing? La Russell, right? When La Russell did the freestyle on his first, the one with on
the LA Leakers.
Nah, I think was that the LA Leakers when he did Field Effect verse, right?
Oh, on the Breakfast Club.
Nah, this before that.
Even before that.
Before that, because then he did the Drake. Billboard thing, right?
Okay.
And then I was like,
it was probably just the 2021 GC freestyle.
Yeah.
Shout out Lancey, bro.
Probably one of them, right? So then like boom, and then
Marlon 7.
Fuck no, man, you jumping the gun. Marlo 7, right? Then we got Eat Together,
Cook Together, Eat Together. Yep.
After. Because that was like my first official introduction to y'all too. Okay. You know, I started backtracking, you know what I'm saying, after the freestyles. Okay. But then that, I was like, so you guys, look, that album is just like soul food. I know I'm doing a lot of talking, man.
No, man, it's
because,
good.
Look, this is legendary for me, you guys, you know what I'm saying? So I don't go off followers. Yeah. I go off, value, production, what you bring to the table. And you bring, you know what I'm saying, a lot to the table.
Thank you, bro.
So, let us start, you know what I mean? We know you from Portland. Yeah. Right? So, okay, ooh man, I got so many. How does it start for you in Portland? You know what I mean? We're just gonna go there. You know what I'm saying, with the music. How did music start for you in Portland?
Man, I think first and foremost just my family. Like growing up in a really musical family, like all my cousins and uncles played music, and my mom was heavily into the arts, was like a ballet dancer and that type of stuff. So I just grew up in a real artistic family, but my mom didn't ever have the money to like give us music lessons and stuff, and I was heavy into sports when I was a kid. Like I played basketball, football, baseball, so I was like every season was busy, and then in the summer I'd be hooping all summer or whatever. So I loved music like as a fan, but I didn't really like have an itch to make music until I was like in my teenage years. But just growing up in a family that fostered like that type of creativity and energy, and like my mom always playing like R&B and soul music, and my grandma was super into jazz and gospel, and my cousins were into rock and hip hop and that type of stuff. So like I got to experience a lot of that stuff, and I didn't realize like the foundation it was laying for me as a kid, you know, which is a lot of those things you can hear in my music now with like even like the church and soulful elements and jazz and a lot of that stuff. But I really got to give it to my family, you know what I'm saying? But Portland is also like a dope city as far as like arts and stuff like that. Not the biggest hip hop scene, but it is like a city that you know has a great music scene and that type of stuff. So I really came into it as a fan, you know. I started going to shows and was just like so enamored. Like Cool Nuts was one of the first shows I ever went to as a kid. I saw him open up for the Alcoholics and Living Legends, and it was one of those things like instantly when I went to the Roseland in Portland, it was like I saw them on stage and I just knew that that's what I wanted to do. Like there was no other anything. I was like, I want to do this, and I know I can do it. You know what I'm saying? So it really just started off with being a fan, really.
So all right. So you talk about Portland. Now that's the one thing I don't know much about Portland.
Yeah.
But I'm a big I like documentaries.
Yeah.
Right? I watch documentaries on everything. Right.
Same.
So don't ask me what documentary I watched, right? Because I can't, whatever, right? But a documentary I was watching, just talking about the Portland music scene.
Okay.
It was something. There you go. It was about Sunset, right?
Okay.
Sunset and how, you know, all the bands and stuff. And it was talking about how Portland, they had like the grunge rock. And it was really big, basically a big rock scene in Portland. So how was the hip hop scene in relations to the rock scene, and does it mesh together, or is it just how was that?
You know, I feel like for a long time it was kind of like separate, and the rock scene like really big, you know, like bands could go national real quick in Portland and go on national tours, and we've had like a number of bands that have broke through from Portland on the national scene, but there's only been a handful of like hip hop artists in Portland that have done it, you know, Amine and Cool Nuts and Bosco, and there's, you know, there's a bunch more, but there's only been a few, you know, that have been able to break out, and I think it's just it's a little more difficult, I think, because of the lack of diversity in Portland, you know. So I think it's the hip hop scene is not as supported as the rock scene because you know what I'm saying, like the culture, you know what I'm saying. So I think it's even deeper rooted than like the talent and all that type of thing. I think it's really based on like the population up there, you know, how to break it down. Like if I could just speak in layman's terms, it's just a lot of white people in Portland, you know. So
somebody like me who never been to Portland, I don't know that. You know what I'm saying?
And not to take away from the diverse communities that are in Portland, but the majority is like a white rock culture, you know what I'm saying? So that's also why like artists like Macklemore and stuff like that were able to thrive in that community. And even myself as a rapper like did really well in Portland, you know, and I think it's something that maybe, you know, people could associate with or whatever, you know. So
I didn't even know Macklemore is from Portland?
He's from Seattle, but it's like it's 3 hours away or whatever. So it's like, you know, this, you know, it's like we're the little brother to Seattle. So that just using that as an example, you know.
I get it. Okay, so that's fly. So then look, all right, so basketball, right? You talking about basketball. So you was a little taller than I expected, right? Okay. You know, I was like, oh, all right, well, man. So I'm like, you played basketball, so was you on the team? Was you in college? How did that go?
No, I played in high school, and we had a real good good high school program. So I got cut my junior year, but I was like, I hooped basically my entire life, and then like when I was a sophomore, I discovered weed, and so it was the beginning of the end of my basketball career. I had was playing football and basketball in my junior year. I quit football, and so I came into tryouts out of shape. But I think my coaches had already caught on to the fact that I was smoking weed and starting to dabble. You know, that was my junior year was when I started to transition from being like an athlete to like, I started to dabble, I started to smoke weed, I started to write raps, I started hanging out with the skaters, you know, I started hanging, it was kind of like a transitional period of
like finding yourself type thing.
Exactly,
right? Yeah.
exactly. So it was difficult because sports was like all I knew growing up, you know. But then music was right. It was right there, and then that was like pretty much my sophomore year. I started getting curious about writing raps because we had a couple of my friends on the team had rapped. You know, shout out to Anthony, Spencer, C Goods. You know, they started to rap, so I saw it and I wanted to do it too. You
Nice.
know, so I started to get curious about it. So when sports ended, music was right there.
Nice.
It was like the next chapter in my life. But you know, it took years to develop, but it was like my next hobby was right there.
Okay, before we get there,
Yeah.
right? I want to know when did the entrepreneurial start? Like, did it start with the music, or was you like selling candy at a young age, or
That's a good question.
You know, when did that entrepreneurship bug hit?
Man,
was it family or what?
I think it started with the music, and I think it started with the music. I can't say like I was really. I'm trying to rack my brain. I can't say I was really like the kid that was, you know, flipping, turning one into two, you know, that type of thing. I sold a little bit of weed or something like that, but it wasn't anything major. But I think
well, not even necessarily weed. You know, I had people on here that they took candy to school.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Shit like that.
I mean, we did that like on Maroka. We sold the regular stuff just for like the basketball team and stuff like that. But I was always pretty terrible at it. But I think it became later, like honestly, like influenced by artists like Dom Kennedy and Nipsey Hussle.
You can't be doing this here.
I did ask, and the lady said at the front desk, she said I could. I asked her. Okay, I mean, I wouldn't have done it. Okay, that's fine.
But
that's
sorry,
fine.
you can't be filming in the lobby.
Okay. No
Okay.
problem.
All right. I mean, you could.
We can go do it. We can go do it in the room.
Like, was it me or was he like a little?
very.
Like,
Very.
you know, I'm not going to even.
Very.
But I didn't do it without permission. I
Yeah.
went and asked the lady. I said, "Can I speak to the manager?" And she said, "Go there." All right, my visionaries. Hey, look, we back, and as you can see, we back at a new location. You understand? like voila, this motherfucker.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because look, you heard how that kind of ended. You know what I mean? I don't even know what the fuck he was. You know, he didn't say I'm the manager. He didn't say, you know, but he will. Hey, you know, hey, this is what happens. You walk around like you're in charge, and I guess people, you know what I'm saying, treat you like in charge, and that's exactly what we did. You know what I'm saying? Because you know, hey. We ain't gonna say what hotel we at, right? But we was at a hotel of a lobby of a particular hotel, right?
You would have got the shout out, but you fucked it up.
You know, they may get the shout out that they don't want, right?
Right.
So I talked to the manager. Give y'all a quick backstory. I talked to the lady at the front desk. She said she was the manager. Said it was okay that I interviewed super producer Tope, right? And you know, so we do it. As you saw, we was doing an interview. It was going well. And then some guy, you know, matter of fact, at this point, I'm going to show that guy, right? Because I believe I do have him on camera. How about that, right? And so he basically told us we couldn't do that. You heard, right? So we just came up to the room, you know. So it's all gravity, man. He thought he was gonna kick us out. You know what I'm saying? He thought my man, the super producer, didn't have a room up in here, right? And we just started barking at him. He was like, "Oh, all right, we just go to the room.
We'll just go to the room, bro.
Yeah,
Say less."
Yeah. So, hey, you know, small things to a giant, and we hate motherfucking midgets. Not really. That's just a dope saying. You know what I mean? What rappers say that? It's a battle rapper that say that. We'll get back to that. Now we're here with Tope. So he was talking about his entrepreneurial endeavors, you know, how he got started, and then he said he got started with music. You know what I mean? That's how it kind of snowballed, right?
Totally,
so could you elaborate on that?
Man, I think one, something started to click, like doing music, that like also this is a business, you know, too. And I'm like, man, this is I am a brand as well. Like Tope is a brand, and I think it started to click when I started to make my own merch in Portland. Nice. And I didn't have like a whole lot of money, so I would just go to this spot called Top to Bottom in Portland, and they did like one-off merch where you could make one shirt at a time, you know, and they would you could put the letters on it and stuff. It was pretty basic or whatever, but I started making these Tope shirts or whatever, and they started selling crazy. So I started to just realize, like, okay, the more I invest in myself, the more I can pull out, you know. So that started the wheels turning, you know. And then you know, we were selling CDs and stuff like that, but I feel like it wasn't until I started making my own merch that I really started to see the revenue and started to see, like, just how when you put the effort in, what can come back with that type of thing, with like treating it as a business. So, and then from there, you know, I've been like, and this is skipping way ahead, but just experimenting with different stuff, with like selling beats and like doing different type of beat sales and doing discounts, you know, whether it's like buy your, you know, name your own price, shout out to La Russell and Good Company, or buy one get one free or stuff like that, and just testing the market because I have the ability to do it. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, why not? It's not gonna hurt, you know what I'm saying? So and it's a learning process, but I feel like I feel like artists like Dom Kennedy and Nipsey Hussle really like motivated that mindset for me as like an independent artist who's not signed to a label, who's able to make revenue, make money, whether it's through concerts, whether it's through merch, whether it's through selling verses, whether it's through their own streaming. And I just saw those guys, like, they didn't need they were turning down big deals and becoming successful themselves. So it really was like this model, you know. And I'm like, it was some of those independent artists, I think, in the blog era that made me kind of realize, like, okay, it can be done, you know, it's not hard.
So, okay, I want the visionaries to understand. When you started rapping, right, and then once it clicked and you said, okay, I want to start making money, and you did the merch thing, how long did you actually make a profit? How long was that period from you starting to actually rap and made some type of money where you say, you know what, damn, it was selling, you know, had to be selling beats, be a show, whatever it was. Now you invested your money, and now you actually seeing, so it ain't got to be a big profit. It could be $50.
Yeah. You
know what I'm saying? I ain't talking $25, but you started seeing the growth.
I would say, like, from the time I started making beats, it probably took me like, I want to say 3 or 4 years, and I remember the first time I made $1,000 off of beats, and I thought it was a setup. Like, I thought someone was trying to kill me. It's because he was like, "Come to my house, I got the cash for you." I'm like calling my friend, like, "Oh man, this dude said he's about to pay me $1,000 for beats, but I gotta go to his house and get the cash if you don't hear from me." 45. I thought it was a setup, but it was all, you know. The bro was super legit. He was just wanted to buy some beats, you know. But it was like, it was almost unbelievable at that time.
Fire.
I think I sold him 10 beats for $1,000.
Hey, you like, hey, that's a come up. So,
but
so after that, then did the merch come? Where you started selling merch? And after that came?
Yeah, I think I was selling beats first. Well, first was CDs. You know, with my first group, Living Proof, we pressed 1,000 CDs. You know, so we did that. So we were on the CD hustle at shows, selling that. So that was really the first thing. Then beats were just kind of like selling them to the homies, selling them to people who had word of mouth, who had heard them. And then merch later, when I had kind of developed myself as Tope, as like a solo artist, you know, and then I had this phrase that I would say, champagne for my real friends. So we did these champagne 4. It said champagne on the back, and it had like a number 4, like a jersey or whatever. So it was like, I had to also develop like my slogan. You know what I'm saying? Like, that
marketing plan.
Exactly. So then people were like, oh, I love it. And people started saying it, champagne for my real friend, you know. So then it was like, people were excited to buy the shirt because it was more than just like a Tope shirt. It was this champagne for my real friends thing that a lot of people were like, you know, they liked the saying, they could relate to it and all that. So it was like, I had to develop myself a little bit before I could just jump off the porch and sell merch and stuff like that.
See, so I just want everybody to understand, like, you ain't gonna go and say, I'm rapping today, put your merch out tomorrow, and think you're gonna make a bunch of money. You gotta, you know, kind of put in that work and get your name out, you know, amongst your city first. You know what I mean? Because, hey, if people don't know you on your block, it's hard to get somebody around the block to figure you out, right?
Yep, exactly.
So okay, bow. All right, so now, all right, we got you. You're entrepreneur. You're grinding into the music, right? So what switched and said, you know what? You know, hey, I want to move. I moved to the Bay, right? To take it a little further. Wait, you know, before we get to the Bay, because I know in Portland, doing my research, it's a little bit of research. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I try to do my research on you. That you were, you know what I'm saying? You were the man in the Bay. I mean, in Portland.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You didn't just come to the Bay and say, you know, hey, you came from already being an established person in Portland. You know, from doing the things you said. So, and that takes some guts to do. For sure. You know. Yeah. What made you do that? What was going on there? What was or was not going on in Portland to made you say, I want to go to the Bay?
Yeah, I think it was like I hit this point. I put out an album called Broke Boy Syndrome, and it was like my first time kind of making a national splash as a solo artist, and was on a lot of blogs and getting a lot of media attention and stuff like that. And I still kind of felt like Portland was like a little bit behind. You know, I had got some media attention, but I feel like people were a little bit slow to like give me my props and stuff that I was doing for the city at that time. So part of it was like, man, I'm out. You know, part of it was like frustration. It was like, man, I'm out of here. Like, Portland can see me later type of thing, you know. But then there was also this drive to grow, you know, and to want to do it in a different market, and to want to explore California and the scene like that. Like, I'd always talked about moving to LA and moving to the Bay and stuff like that, but it seemed like a far off reality. So I got to the point where I was able to actually make that a reality, you know. And it was scary. It was very intimidating, and I really didn't have much of a plan or know what I was doing. I just went and did it. I really didn't even know much about Oakland, you know. My sister lived down there, so I stayed with her for a few months, but there was really, and I had a friend, shout out to Jesse and Sarah from Portland, and they were also helped me stay in the Bay. Like, you know, I ended up being roommates with them, some of my friends from high school or whatever. But I jumped down, bro. I had like $3,000. I moved down, didn't know what I was doing, didn't know anyone in the scene, and I kind of paid the price for that. It took me some time to get on my feet, you know. But
how old were you?
I was 27, something like that. So it was also like approaching that 30 mark, you know. I'm like, man, I had told myself when I was a kid that if I didn't blow up by 30, I was gonna quit. So it was that like, all right, I gotta go get it. Now looking back, that's the stupidest thing in the world. But I just, you know, when you're a younger kid, being 30 seems so old. You know what I'm saying? But also part of that was like, I want to get out of Portland by the time I'm 30. You know, like, I want to do other things. Like, I don't want to continue to do the same things, because I did feel like I played every venue I wanted to in Portland. I collaborated with the people that I wanted to collaborate. I won the awards. I did all that, you know. Not saying I had like conquered Portland, but to me, I had checked off a lot of things in my list, you know. So I was excited to go try it in a different region. And the original plan was to move to LA. Okay. But I moved to the Bay, and then I moved to LA, and then I moved back to the Bay. Okay. And ended up just realizing like the Bay was a little bit more my pace at the time, like life-wise, and stuff like that. And I just kind of related to the Bay Area more than I thought I would when I moved. Like, because I was like, I'm gonna go to the Bay for a few months and move to LA and blow up. You know what I'm saying? And it didn't happen like that. It was a very humbling time, but I also like discovered that I love the Bay, and people now are like, bro, I forget you're not from the Bay, you know?
The Bay, man, it's a whole nother vibe, you know what I'm saying? LA and the Bay may be 6 hours away, but like culture-wise and the way things go, it's different, you know what I'm saying? And it's, I don't know. I fuck with it heavy. You know what I'm saying? So that's
the Bay's beautiful.
So, that took so. All right, damn. So you come out, don't have a plan. You know, I met one other person. Well, two other people. My cousin, you know what I'm saying? She moved from Chicago to. Wait, she came out here. She lived out here, but she did it older. But then she moved to DC.
Okay.
You know, didn't know nobody.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And Dez Mack, he bought a beat from you.
Yep.
He came from Ohio.
Yeah.
And then like you, he came to the Bay.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So, and I love LA, and it was hard for me to, you know what I'm saying? When people try to get me to move here and there, and I be like, it may be better, but I don't know.
Yeah.
You know, so hey, that takes tremendous guts. So you in the Bay.
Yeah.
All right. So what happens there to make the flip switch to say, you know what, dude, now it's kind of, I'm getting some traction here.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, there was years of like down period of me just, I was on the fence. Like I was like on the fence of whether or not I should continue to make music. You know, I was kind of going through just life, you know, the transition of moving. All my relationships had changed, like all my friends, you know, it was a big change from Portland. Then I had, you know, I had like a relationship stuff, you know, like life, you know, life, all this type of stuff, and I was just on the fence. And then combine that with getting older and being in a new region that's popping, and it's different than Portland. Like the way I compare it, like the Bay, you have levels of superstars, right? You have E40, you have Too Short, you have Jeezy, you have Kehlani, but then you also have Guap Dad, you have Larry June, you have La Russell, you have Stunna Man, you have all these people, and then even, you know, and then there's another layer of even more like, you know, local town shit, you know, so there's levels of success in the Bay, and in Portland, it's kind of like,
I never thought of it like that.
It's like boom. It's like it's wide open. You know, there's Amine, there's Cool Nuts, there's all these other people, but like Amine's kind of, he's in LA type of shit. So there's not those big superstars or medium superstars or young. You know, not to take away. I'm not taking away from Portland scene, but it's just like a little bit different competition. So it was heavy when I moved down. When I was in Portland, I would open up for whoever I wanted to. You know, like I had pretty much, I could play whatever show I wanted to. Then I moved to the Bay and I'm a nobody, literally. You know, so that was like, it was good though because I humbled myself. I left Portland on a very high plane. I came to the Bay and life humbled me, but it made me into the person that I was today. You know what I'm saying? And it also, like, I got time to sit back and be a fan of the Bay Area music and study and learn and get better. And those are all the things that, like, you know, have helped me be the producer that I am today.
The producer that you are today. Look at you. So, all right. So now, I know you spend a lot of time on the producer side, right? Now, what we doing on the MC side? Are we still
currently?
Yeah, are we going?
Currently, nothing in the works, and I don't know if there ever will be. But I don't want to ever like close the door and be like, I'm never rapping again. Because one day I might wake up and want to make a song or make an EP or something like that. But at this point, current time right now, like my focus is on production. My focus is on producing for other artists, and just seeing how the world opens up as being an instrumentalist, basically.
So I heard you say in an interview that sometimes you may be thinking about managing or something like that. Is that still, or is that, I know this is like something old I saw, so is that something that you still think about, or would you?
Yeah, sorry. I was just having a conversation the other night, like, the way I look at it is like I'm a young OG in the game. Like I'm young for a producer. You know, I have the rest of my life now to be, I'm over the young artist. You know, now I have the rest of my life to be like a OG producer and share some of my wisdom with other artists. And then who knows what that looks like. And I was just having the conversation, but who knows what that looks like in 5 to 10 years. Maybe I stop producing. Maybe I go into artist management or something like that, and I feel like there's another 30 years of life with that. Like I feel like I could be a great music executive, and I do feel like that's in my future, and I already feel like I have a sense of like I know when someone's got it, you know what I'm saying, and that type of thing. So I feel like all this stuff that I'm doing, and I'm continuing to learn more about the industry, more about record deals, and more about just music in general. So I definitely feel like that I could produce for the rest of my life, but I could also be in some sort of management position too, you know, and I don't rule that out, and I'm looking forward to that aspect of my life. Like, I'm looking forward to being like the OG, you know what I'm saying? I already am in a way, but I'm looking forward to you know, sharing that thing. Like, my thing is right now is like, I love hip hop first and foremost. Like, I grew up a fan of the music, and I love the culture so much that I don't want to ever get in the way. And that was kind of part of my thought process as not rapping anymore, is like, how can I contribute in the best way possible?
Nice.
So now, like, as an older guy, whatever, like, I feel like my role now is to contribute by producing for younger artists who have a story to tell, who have something to offer to the culture.
Nice.
You know, who can say something that I may not be able to say. And I don't have to be the star, but I can provide the canvas. You know, and that's my role, and that's like, I'll be perfectly happy with that, contributing to the culture. I don't gotta be the star of the show, but I'll throw assists, I'll throw you a lob, you know what I'm saying? And I'm perfectly cool with that.
And that's I'm glad you said that, because a lot of people don't know. It's like people like to quote it as saying, it's a lot of different phrases you can use to say, know your role, play your role, whatnot. But it's the same thing. It's knowing your lane, whatever. You know, it's like whatever you feel like you comfortable at. Not everybody. You don't have to be. You know what I'm saying? The star. You know what I'm saying? Hey, if I wish I can find somebody. Somebody want to be a star? Please get in front of this camera, and I can be behind the camera. I would enjoy that a whole lot more. You know what I'm saying? Personally, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, this is where we at. You know what I mean? So I understand that, and not a lot of people also will get behind whoever to play the background. You know, this guy I just interviewed, his name is Q, right? Q Gambino, right? Shout out to Q Gambino from New York, right? His man's with him, right? His name is Los, right? And they came out from New York to do some stuff. So you know what I'm saying? I called him to get an interview, and his man is with him. So I'm like, hey, you know, you want to say something? You know, get you on camera, promote what you doing, and da da da. He like, nah. I want this is about my man. You know what I'm saying? I just sit right here, but I don't even want to. We could talk about me later. You do an interview, and I'm like, that's rare. And a lot of guys will be like, hey, I want to get my shine in too, which is cool. You know what I'm saying? But if you know your man maybe he got a little more, you know what I'm saying? Facts. And we all know that, whoever sitting next to us or whatnot, you be like, hey, I can still get mine off, you know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, I might get mine off a little more, helping him.
Playing your role.
Playing my role. Exactly. You know, you get more out of it. So 100%. I'm passionate about that because I think that's exceptional. You know what I'm saying? An exceptional skill trait. You know what I'm saying? To have for any person or business or anything that you're doing in life, right? So, all right, bow. So you're playing your role, you're doing it. You're producing things. You're not producing things. You're producing now, right? How do you, I know you've been asked this a million times, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if you've been asked on the interview before. You probably have. You've done interviews before. But hey, my visionaries may not know. And guess what? Hey, I want to know too. How did you and LaRussell meet? How did that happen? So I had saw some of his content on Twitter, like I want to say maybe 2019 or 2020, like before the pandemic. And it was from his I think it's Lo-Fi Love or something like that, a rap song, and a couple other songs I had heard from him, and I instantly was just like, dang, this kid's got something. And he was going by Tope Shakur, and I remember telling my roommate, I'm like, man, there's this kid in Vallejo, man, he goes by Tope Shakur, like
dope. He's got a real fresh vibe, his content, he looked like he got a cool team and all this stuff. I'm like, man, this kid's dope. So I was really just slapping his music.
Yeah.
Like, I was just a fan, you know, and then I think I reached out to him on DM or something like that. I was like, bro, I want to produce for La Russell, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he never hit me back. And it was like maybe a year or two, and this is funny, the last show I went to before the pandemic, I went out to this show with my friend in Oakland, and I didn't even know who was performing. I just kind of like went, you know, just went to go mob with him or whatever, and I show up to the venue, and it's this real familiar voice on stage, and I'm like, damn, I've heard this voice, like, who is this kid or whatever? I look, oh, it's that Tope kid from Vallejo.
Yeah.
He's performing at the thing, so we didn't even get to meet or whatever. I'm just chilling in the crowd, like I didn't even meet him or even try to say what's up to him or whatever. But I'm like, oh, that's dope. Boom. Week later, the world shut down. You know what I'm saying? Pandemic, all this stuff. So I had been working on this project with my guy Lucky Shankle, Black Sheep, this R&B project that I produced, and La Russell was just starting to do the box sessions with Good Company, and he had Lucky Shankle come out and do a live, and I had produced it, and I think La Russell liked that song, but then also when he posted it, he tagged me as the producer, and I just hit him straight up like, hey bro, I'm a fan, I'm trying to work. So he DM'd me his number. It's like, pull up on Monday. You know what I'm saying? Come to the crib. Come out to Vallejo. And I had never been to Vallejo. And I had just injured my back. Like, it was super funny, but I had like a back injury, and I almost didn't go because my back was hella hurting that day. Like, I was like, fuck, I might have to cancel this session, but I'm like, nah, let me go ahead and go out to Vallejo. So I meet La Russell, I meet his dad. I can't remember if I met his mom that day or whatever. So we go into his room, and he's like, play me some of the beats you love. Play me the ones you love. So I had like a stack of beats that were like, I had saved for myself, like if I wanted to rap one day, like my potential Tope project or whatever. So I started playing him some of those, like my stash of beats or whatever. He's like, I want this one, I want this one, I want this one, I want this one. It's like, all right, well, just play this one. So I play him the beat, which ends up being North Vallejo Tales. That's the first song we do, and then the second song we do, Tope's Dope. But you can hear it on the beginning of Tope's Dope. These are Marlon 7. We started Marlon 7 that day. So on the beginning of Tope's Dope, you hear La Russell go, yeah, we just started something. Because I'm engineering, and I go, bro, we had just finished North Vallejo Tales, and I'm like, bro, I feel like we just started something. Like the chemistry, like that song was so crazy off rip. He's like, we for sure started something. You can hear it in the intro. Then he goes in, Tope got the dope, bring the beat in. You know, so we did that, and then we did 3 songs that day that basically ended up the start of Marlon 7. And it's funny, I was talking to him the other day, and I'm like, I get this feeling that if I wouldn't have showed up, if I would have said, hey, my back hurts, I would have never heard from him again. He's like, you're exactly right. He's like, if you wouldn't have showed up to the session the first day, you would have never heard from me again. So I was like, hey man, I'm glad I made the trip. So persistence to the producers that are watching, man, don't get discouraged by someone not reading your DM or someone not hitting back, because it might just be the internet. You know, sometimes you gotta pull up on people in real life and let them know you're a real person. You know,
that again. You gotta pull up in real life. Because look, because my slogan, you know, I'm everywhere like air. You know what I'm saying? Because I'll pull up everywhere. This is why, people. Because this story is why I'll pull up everywhere, because you want to be there for that opportunity.
So it's like that one trip, you know, and I talk about it a lot, like a couple trips to Vallejo changed my life, you know what I'm saying? And that's real. And it's also like, just not being discouraged, not taking it personal. And that's also something I learned like through years of doing music, is like, don't take it personal. It wasn't like he was like, oh fuck this, you know. He wasn't working with producers then, and he even told me that too. He's like, man, I just wasn't open to working. So it all happened when it meant to happen. The timing was perfect, but it was a journey.
Hey, what's up, my visionaries? Look, I hope you're enjoying this episode right now. But it's brought to you by Vision Scope Productions, where we can handle some of your production needs. If you want to shoot a podcast, but you don't have the equipment, look, I have all the professional equipment, mics, lights, camera, the whole wop, mobile too. We'll pull up wherever you want to shoot your podcast, hey, and make it happen. If you need a videographer to follow you around, document what you're doing, DM us. So, hey, like I just said, DM, Vision Scope Podcast. We want to handle your production needs. My name is Majesty, Vision Scope Productions. Back to our regularly scheduled program. Hello. And a nice journey. It seemed like you've been on because that Marlin 7 is fire, you know, and that eat together, they cook together, eat together. Oh my God, man. And then the champagne gummies. Woo. That right there, I've been waiting for that since he did that freestyle coming from LA in the middle of the goddamn desert. I think he did it, and that was supposed to be champagne gummies. Yeah, that was we were kind of considering whether or not to put it on champagne gummies or not, but that was, we were leaving from making the whole album. We were on that vibe, you know. We had one more. I'm like, you want me to send you that beat? And we're in the car. He's like, yeah, send it to me. He writes a shit. Hey, let's pull over. Let's do it right now. And so look, let me tell you, from that, I'm telling you, I'm a sponge. Like you know what I mean? I'll try to figure out what somebody doing, and you throw your own sauce in it, right? And he's like, who's ever doing it on the side of the freeway, right?
Man, for
boom.
real. Yeah.
So what do Majesty do, right? I go to Venice Beach. I go and set up my podcast because ain't nobody podcasting just gonna jump out at the beach anywhere. I go anywhere, but that was your start, and that's of the inspiration of you know what I'm saying, what you guys did. You know what I'm saying? So,
and I think that's part of the message is like anywhere, bro, anywhere. Like we basically travel. Like I'll bring my interface, I'll bring my talk box, I'll bring my I got a little mini keyboard now I bought, and Russell will bring his mic, he'll bring his stuff, so we're ready to record wherever. You know, we could have knocked out an EP in Atlanta the other day if we weren't so busy. I had the beats, you know what I'm saying? But we were doing other stuff, but we've just learned, like, bro, you know, like the video and Guitar Center. LaRussell just, hey, Tope, come play something. Dun, 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 and then GT Coupe, you know what I'm saying? Like anywhere. And that's the theme.
See, hey, and not only that, the persistence and the grinding, you know what I'm saying? And that's like, you can do it anywhere, but just stay persistent with it. You know what I'm saying? So that's, oh my God. So that's amazing. All right. So as far as your beats, boom, right? You're getting them out there. You got any new deals going on right now? You got anything? Because you just had it. Tell people about the deals that you just had and what you maybe have coming up. Or
like the sales, you mean?
Sales, yeah.
So I've just been experimenting because I can and I want to, and I want to mess around and figure it out. So at the top of the year we did pay what you want beats with a minimum of $100. So basically put it in the artist's hands of like, how much you think this beat is worth. How much do you want to support me? And again, that was kind of taken from the Good Company LaRussell model of like, pay what you want or whatever. So it was dope. It was a great experience. It was a great experience, you know. And it was also at a point like that was January 2022. I had quit my job at the end of September. So it was also like, I needed to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like that was that point where it's like, okay, I got this, and it's like, man, I gotta pay. And it was January 2nd or January 1st, and it was like, bro, I had to make sure the bills were due for the next, bills were coming up. So I had, and it went crazy. You know what I'm saying? It did better than what I thought. And it's so funny, bro. I had was talking to my friend, and I told him, bro, sometimes I'd be nervous to promote myself selling beats because I don't want to come across as broke. But in the scheme of things, I am broke. I'm not a millionaire. You know what I'm saying? So why am I tripping, bro? Like I'm over here like man, I don't want to come across a certain way, but hey, you know what I'm saying, bro? What am I doing? You know? So it's like, it's a funny thing, and I'm like, I had to get out of my own way to do that. And that was part of it, was like, there was this part of this fear in me last year, like I didn't want to be on camera, I didn't want to talk, I didn't want to do this, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And I had to get over all that this year, and it helped my confidence. It helped me be a different person, be a better artist. And part of that, making the video, hey, you guys, it's up to you. You can pay what you want, that type of thing. And then seeing the responses and seeing the sales. Like, I made like $1,000 from my bed that day.
Look at that.
And I'm sitting here like, bro,
And these are beats that you done already did. It ain't like you got to go make new ones.
they're on my laptop.
Yeah.
Sitting on my laptop,
So
bro.
you just said, oh, you want it? Ding,
I was
ding.
drinking coffee in bed, and I made $1,000, and I'm like, bro, look at this.
Bills
Look at
paid.
life. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It's possible. And that's been another one of my themes, is sometimes you just got to know it's possible, whether it's someone else doing it or you jumping out there and being like, I can touch the rim. I didn't know I could touch the rim. I thought I could only touch the net, but hey, I could touch the rim. And my homie can dunk it, you know what I'm saying? Like, or whatever, you know, but you got to know it's possible. Like,
Yeah. So, oh man, hey, look, this is, I'm so inspired, you know what I mean? Because this is, your story mirrors mine to an extent, you know what I'm saying? So, like I told you, I'm an old head, and getting in front of the camera, it was never my thing. I wanted to be behind the scenes, you know, market people, you know, but it's hard to find somebody that was going to put in the work that you need them to do.
Yep.
So, hey, I'm willing to put in the work. So, hey, I had to get beside myself, like you say, and you had to just go for it, which is fucking dope. You know what I'm saying?
nobody's going to care about your brand more than you will.
So that brings me to it, because look, and then the honesty. You know what I'm saying? That's, I'm glad you said that, right? Because one part of my thing, that's what you said. We're gonna edit. They gonna, you know, we gonna keep it. I like to keep it.
Yeah.
True. Tell the people where I'm at. I tell people, you know, everybody know I got a regular job. I work at 9 to 5. You know what I'm saying? And I'm building this podcast up, right? We ain't rich, right?
Right.
However, are you able? You said you quit your job, right?
Yeah.
So you're able. You're not rich, but he's able to make a living off of what he do, what he loves to do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Without having to clock in 9 to 5.
Yeah.
Would I have that correct?
Yeah, this is my October was a year mark, no job, paid everything with music. And then October was also the first month where I got a streaming check that was big enough to pay my rent and my bills.
Oh, this October?
This October.
Oh,
yeah, so we came home. We came home from Atlanta, bruh, and it was also my birth. It was a few days before my birthday, and I looked at my distro kid payout, and I was like, "Hey, yo," you know what I'm saying? It was the biggest one yet, and that was the greatest birthday gift I could have ever received. Like, I really just had to sit there and like my whole journey flashed before my eyes. You know what I'm saying? Like, I went through everything. Like, man, I worked so hard to get to this point and be able to just pay my bills, but that was the goal. You know what I'm saying?
Now look, did y'all hear what he said? I don't want that to go over your head like a shower nozzle. You gotta just pay attention to what he said. He said he got his first check. But you know, a very nice size check. You know what I'm saying? They was able to do what with the money? Pay his bills.
Yep.
Not go buy a new car,
Right.
gold chain,
Right.
some joy. He didn't say he about to go get some drip, some purple, wherever the fuck y'all motherfuckers wearing. I know purple, right? Nah, yo, I know Louis and all that. But all this new shit y'all got going on,
Right.
hey. But he didn't get none of that shit. He said, I want to pay my rent.
Yep.
I want to pay him whatever other bills.
Right.
Phone,
Pay off my parking tickets.
hey,
You know
parking
how
in
California is.
Man, the bay down there.
I owe Oakland a good couple 800.
I know that feeling. So that is sucking. So that's the inspiration to y'all, you know. So it's not gonna come quick. It ain't gonna come easy.
Yeah.
But if you stay persistent, you know,
Man.
it shall arrive.
And I had to grind, like I told, talking to LaRussell, because when I quit my job, LaRussell gave me some money to quit and pushed me to do it. And I was on the fence because it's just like, I didn't want to like be poor all year or lose my apartment or fall behind, bro. So there was part of me that was a little bit nervous to do it, but I had to take that jump.
Yeah.
And I made it happen every month. I had to struggle every single month and make it bigger and really grind and hustle and get to that point. And it's like, I had to go through that year, but it was more than a year, but I had to go through this year to get to where I'm at, to where we made 3 projects this year. Now I got hella stream, now I got hella splits, you know, and I got more coming, you know. So it was really like, man, it was just like one of those life tests. Like I had to go, and I went through so much this year of just like grinding every month, and a lot of anxiety and like stress with that, you know, financially or whatever, and then to be like, man, think about it and be like, I might be cool for a minute, like I might be able to pay my rent and go focus on other stuff. So that's why I did that. So I got the thing, I pay my rent, and I said, you know what, buy one get one free, let's run the sale up. That's what I'm saying, because I can, because some people are like, hey, Tope needs some money. I don't, but I'm saying I'm up, but let's go up, you know what I'm saying? Like, let's do a sale and let's run it up. Like, let's really get to a point where we're comfortable, because what's the point of hiding the hand, you know? Like, now's the time to put the foot on the gas.
It's like, why put a sale when like I need the money? Let's do it when I don't need it, and it's not it. And then, you know, so if I sell 2 beats, it's a success. You know, I'm not tripping. Like, and those are also like, the BeatStars community is like a different. I sell beats hand to hand, like with artists I work with a lot. Like they come to the crib, I'll make them something custom. Like that's my schedule with that is busy, but I'm trying to get to that. I wake up to beat sales, and that's what started to happen with BeatStars. Shout out BeatStars. You know, I'll come out of the shop. I would, like the other day. Okay, wait. Sorry. Go, no. I want you to don't lose that thought, because I want you to, for the people that's watching, for visionaries who's in the industry or maybe trying to get, I want them to understand what you're saying, because I know I'm not into the industry. So you put me up on game. I'm assuming I know what BeatStar is, but could you explain to some of the guys what BeatStar is who don't know?
So BeatStars is an online marketplace for producers and for rappers. So it's strictly instrumentals on there, and you have different type of licenses, and you can do an MP3 license, you can do a wave license, you can do exclusive. So there's like, you can get a really good beat for $50, for $100. You know, you get an MP3 license, and that's honestly, like, I think Lil Nas X, Old Town Road was a BeatStars beat. And he ended up turning it into the, you know.
Now, do they get now with that? Do you get credit, residual credit on that too, or do you just, it's not just going off?
You're still getting your publishing and all that too. It's strictly just like a you know, to get that that upfront fee, to get that sale, and to also like put your beats in a marketplace as well. But essentially, there still should be, as a producer, essentially, unless there's another agreement, you still should be entitled to 50% of your publishing.
That's nice.
And it may be different with different artists, or, you know, maybe the Lil Nas X thing was different because that song got so big or whatever, but you still should be entitled to your publishing and all that. This is like for upfront fee type of thing or whatever. So it's dope, and it's you know, there's it's worldwide, so it's not just like people, you know, there's people all over the world that are searching for beats at all times.
Good.
You know,
so, there you go. So all right, back to it. You on BeatStar. I don't want you to go.
No, just trying to set up BeatStar so it's mailbox money. You know what I'm saying? And like the other day, I got a sale for $250 for a beat. Then I jump in the shower. I come out of the shower. I got another sale for $150, and I'm like, see, this is what I wanted. I'm not even. These are beats I've already made, like you said, and I've already sold, because these are licensings. So before, in the past, I was selling exclusive. I might sell an exclusive. I might have sold some exclusives for $200-300, and then that beat is gone. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get my publishing, but I can't resell that beat.
You know what? See, I'm listening to you talk, and I get what you're saying when you said the license. So your licensing the beat, they buying it on the license, but then you can still resell that beat. I can
sell it 100 times. I can sell it as many times as I want. So now the beat I sold for $250 the other day, I've sold it. So now I'm seeing the actual, like, the benefit.
One beat. Oh my God.
I'm seeing the benefit. of licensing. So that is like my BeatStars is essentially, I have beats for as low, you can get a beat as low as $100 for an MP3 license. But my idea is to sell that MP3 license 1,000 times.
No, I get. Hey, that's fucking. Look, you know what I see that as? But you got that the music. I never looked at it this way until you said it. Until we having this discussion.
Yeah.
Real estate,
bro. Yes.
This motherfucker got digital real estate, and I ain't talking about the metaverse and shit.
Real money.
Hey, I'm talking about this music, this beat, his beats. It's fucking not even a digital. It's a wave real estate, because it's not just, this is whatever the fuck you want to call it. It's a real estate, and he got his property is everywhere.
Yep.
His property is everywhere, and he's getting residual money from everywhere.
Plus, think about splits. You know, splits too is like real estate. So I got 75 splits right now. Every month, those are gonna pay. Every month, each one of those splits is paying me out. You know, so the more splits I can get, the more apartments I own, the more property I own that's paying me every single month.
Because man, that's what I'm trying to tell y'all, man. This is why I'm such a big fan of the independent hustle.
Yeah.
And Vision Scope podcast is gonna be the podcast. Cause see, my inspiration comes from hip hop. Like I've been, you know, LA, you know about K-Day, right?
Yeah,
you know about K. That's me, right? Sure. I come from K-Day. Little small radio with one speaker on one side to take, you know what I'm saying? That's what I listen to K-Day off of. So my inspiration is marketing. Everything is hip hop. It's a podcast, but we ain't even a regular podcast.
It's bigger than that.
Bigger than that.
Yeah.
So the independent hustle is what I'm saying. Is just like, oh my God, you gotta know it. You know what I'm saying? You gotta get into it, because this is what I was trying to lead to. I know some of the guys like not LaRussell, but Russ.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then there's some other guy, not only Larry June, but it's this one guy, I can't think, but whatever. Let's take Russ, right? Mm-hmm. He got like a catalog, right? Like, fuck, I want to say like 200 songs, I want to say, probably, more, right?
Probably a lot more.
So then when you talk splits, right? Well, all this stuff, and so he doesn't, that's why he's able to do the things he does, and that's why I see you and Russell had it, you know what I mean? And shit, Larry June, fucking, man, it's a lot of guys, because the Bay, to be honest, y'all, you know what I'm saying?
For that, and it's another thing too, like with the split, with the splits, like it's an interesting thing. Like, say I'm producing for an independent artist, right? Okay. So I'm basically like entitled to 50% of my split. I might go as down as low as 25, depending on what's going on. Take a 25% split, based on what's going on or whatever. But when you're producing for like a major artist, your split is like 3 to 5%. It's way lower. So I'm in talks right now, like producing for label artists, but to be honest, the motivation isn't as much, because I'm like, I get to produce for dope, you know, I get to produce for LaRussell and all these other kids, all the other people that are dope as hell, and the business side, it makes more sense on this other side too, you know what I'm saying? So it's very interesting, the looks of it, you know, because you would say, oh, so-and-so on the major label, he producing for the major artist, he must be popping, getting that bag, but you could really go get that bag on the independent side, you know?
Because of the splits. Yeah. Because, like, just because you produce for this major artist, and you getting 3%, but if nobody's streaming this shit, that 3% is worthless.
Right. Right? It's just a shiny, it's just a little trophy.
It's a trophy, to say that you did something with the artist, unless they go.
Hopefully I didn't just talk myself out of some placements, but that's how I look at it, you know, because I've been talking with a couple labels about stuff, and it's just like, it's just funny because the position that we're in right now.
Because look, you know, we go to Russ, right? And he say, you just say, no, don't offer this motherfucker no standard deal.
Right.
They ain't they offer you standard shit, right?
Right.
This motherfucker ain't standard.
No.
Like, you ain't gonna offer, look, and y'all may not see it, but y'all should fucking see it. Whoever the fucking labels, whoever fucking watching it, you know what I mean? Think of him as the young Timberland. You're looking at the young Timberland. You ain't gonna get this motherfucker Timberland a standard deal, or fucking Dr. Dre or JD or a fucking what's my guy's name out there? Oh man, I got, for real. You ain't giving these motherfuckers standard deals.
Nah, for real.
So look, he ain't standard. So my recommendation to y'all right now, don't give him a standard deal. But if you do try to hit him with the standard deal, I mean, I don't know what to say, because he's on this trajectory, right? Is on the way up to the guys I just said, right? So therefore, you either pay him now or pay him later, and when you pay him later, what my man Jay-Z said, you're gonna get taxed for what you did to the Cold Crush. Right. Well, in this instance, you're just gonna get taxed for what you did for him when he was started off with Russ. You see how you like when I did that? I could flip a little rhyme, you know what I'm saying? But it's the truth, and that's what you should do to these, you know, because the proof is in the pudding. You see, you want to come to him because obviously he does great music. He does. So that's just, you know, and people know.
Some people still don't get it, man. Some people still don't get it, but I'm just being patient, you know. I know what's coming, so I'm not.
Hey, tripping. It's all good. See, look, that's why we got this platform here, exactly. For homo visionaries. You know what I'm saying? Because look, you can sit back and do your thing. It's for me to bump them over the head 1,000 times to let them know, you know what I'm saying, how great you are and what you. Yeah, we know. All right, numbers. You know, we gotta go numbers. Right? He gotta do all this, whatever. For motherfuckers to see that, you know what I'm saying? Or
respect it.
Yeah, to really respect it. You know what I'm saying? We'll give you that. Understand? He got that. He got to put in that Dr. Dre and what have you work. Understand, right? But he's gonna get there because he's putting in the work. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So, that's just my 2 cents. You know what I'm saying? My 10 cents. Matter of fact, that's more than 2 cents. You know what I mean? That's a few dollars worth. That's a few dollars worth. You know. But hey, I'm poking some real gospel. So, all y'all. So look, this is why I'm trying to fucking tell y'all, up and coming artists. Did y'all hear me not just say who the fuck he is? You know what I'm saying? And what he gonna be? You heard what his fucking prices is? Right. Why not, man? You ain't gonna go get no fucking Pharrell ain't knocking on your door.
For real.
And that motherfucker that's charging you $400,000 for the beat, you paid too much, he fucked you. And you can't get your money back, so you might as well just spend $1,000 and get your whole album done.
Right.
About 10 songs.
Them gonna be licensings though. We still do $1,000 exclusive, but the license, you know.
Now, if you want an exclusive, that's a different price.
Yeah. If you want that shit, you know, $1,000, I'm gonna make you whatever you want. It's gonna sound what you want. It's gonna, no one else is gonna get it. You could come through the crib. I'm gonna make it in front of your face, type of thing. Like, we're gonna get your sound right. So I do that too. Like I do custom production, and a lot of artists tap in for that as well.
And that's
too.
A little more.
That's about 1,000. It starts about 1,000
for one track.
For one, yeah. But it's like exactly what you want. You know, it's exactly what you want. But then, you know, it's based on where you are in your artistship. Like, I see the benefit of licensing a beat for $100.
Hey,
you know,
I don't even rap, and I see the benefit of licensing a beat for $100.
Yeah, if I was a new rapper, man, bro, we spent so much money buying beats for our first album, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, if I could go back to being a new rapper and have BeatStars and be able to license a dope beat for $50, oh my God, it would be game changer.
Because look, 100 artists can buy that same beat, right? You can be that artist to say, you know what, take it to the moon, to whereas they can come out with the song afterwards. Nobody looking at that shit.
Facts.
They're not even listening to it because your shit's to the moon. Now they the copycat.
Even for example, the other night, you know, I'm having this discussion with LaRussell. He's like, bro, you could put all of my beats on BeatStars if you want. And that takes a lot for an artist to say. He said, Put Baggage Claim up there if you want. Put whatever, because nobody can do what I can do to those beats, so I'm not tripping. But that's also like him being like, bro, go make your money too. Like, that's an amazing thing to say. Most artists are like, bro, don't even play my beat for someone else.
Yeah.
But Russell's like, put them all up there if you need to, if you want to, you know, and that's love from him. Like, I'm probably not gonna do it, but just the fact that he said go do it, that's dope, because he wants to see me win, and he realizes, like, that's my, you know, intellectual property too, you know what I'm saying? He's not, you know, and that's just the mind state of like, bro, no one can be Tope. No one can be Majesty. No one can be Lil Russell. No one, you know what I'm saying? And that's one of those confident things. It's like, bro, I don't care. That's why I do beat breakdowns and tell people exactly how I made a beat, because I can give you my formula, but you're still not gonna be able to make something like I'm just me. I'm me. Yeah. I can only be Tope. You know, when I sit down to create, I'm gonna do it how I do it every time. You know. And so, hey, his beat breakdown, he gave me the segue, yo. So you guys look, I gotta watch his YouTube channel. He shows you how to break down the beat. Cook together, eat together. What's up, y'all? This is Tope. I'm about to break down the beat for Baggage Claim from me and Lil Russell's new album, Cook Together, Eat Together, featuring Neff the Pharaoh. Check it out.
Came out the mud, they thought I was a rock. Dust me off, bitch, I'm shining. Tony Hawk, bitch, I'm grinding. Need transmission, bitch, I'm grinding. Underbite, bitch, I'm grinding. Need new brakes, bitch, I'm grinding.
Alright, man, for this beat, we started out with these guitars. If you know the song, man, you already know where we're going with this. Alright, for the next part, I played this bass line using Omnisphere. I used a preset called Model Bass in case you want to steal it and use it on your beats. It's a pretty raw bass. I tried to like give this bass line like a lot of variation. There's it's almost like it's like an 8-bar loop that's changing the whole time. So I tried to like just do some different like slides and steps with it to, you know, just make it funky. But with the guitar, it sounds like this. I started out with this clap. It's from a Southside kit. Added hi-hats. Kind of wanted them to make them bouncy with also a roll in there as well. I had an open hi-hat, a cowbell. There's a laser. This laser for like percussion. There's a crowd chant. You can barely hear it, very faint. Then I added kicks. With the kick, there's also a stomp. Like, I think it's on every one. Oh no, it's on a bunch of different stuff. Okay. And then with the bass line and the drums all together, so far it sounds like this. For the next part, I added these vocal chops in here, which are real subtle, and I just played them right off my keyboard on my Mac. All all together. And then the only other thing I put in this beat was just this riser. You know, we talked about it before, but the riser with reverb and delay just to help with the transitions right here. Solo, it sounds like this. Then with the beat, everything sounds like this. It, man. Baggage Claim by LaRussell and Tope featuring the legendary Neff the Pharaoh. Make sure you go stream Cook Together, Eat Together out now on all digital streaming platforms. I think we're almost at 2 million views on this video on LaRussell's page. So, man, go check it out. Help us get to that 2 mil. If you made it this far in the video, man, make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel and Double O's YouTube channel. Drop a like or a comment if you feel what we got going on, man. Behind the beat. Thank you guys.
Yeah, hey. So got the dope, bring the beat in.
Hey, what's up, my visionaries? Hey, I hope you enjoying this Tope episode. Hey, if so, go on and hit that subscribe button. Go on down there, hit that button right there. Like, share it. Hey, we the home of entrepreneurs and visionaries. This is your home. So go subscribe. Hello. See that? See, that's how he does his beat breakdown. You know what I mean? So look, go check him out. You know what I'm saying? Follow that channel. It's down there at the bottom. You know what I'm saying? And you can see how he breaks down his beats. Like he just said, look, he just showed you how to break down his beats, but you're not going to, I doubt if he can do it, but you know, hey, he gave you a little blueprint on how you can create your own. That's what it's for.
Thanks. So
you can see how he does it, not to copy him, but kind of, hey, maybe figure out your own way.
Yeah, exactly.
Did I get that?
100%. I learned so much from watching tutorials, and I still watch them. Mm-hmm. You know, I still watch tutorials all the time. Shout out to my guy, Proud by Infinite, bro. He's amazing content guy, and I've learned a lot by watching tutorials, but I always twisted them and made them my own. That's something that I learned from Dilla. You know, he's like, when I heard Pete Rock and when I heard all these people, when I heard Preem and Pete Rock, I got inspired, but I didn't get inspired to go make their sound. I got inspired to go do my own thing.
Exactly.
I put my own twist on it, you know, and took it to another level. And that's something I learned from Dilla. Like, put your own twist on it. And I feel like all my beats feel like me. Even if I use a loop from Splice, it's gonna feel like me when I'm done with it.
And you got them soulful joints, man.
Yeah.
I like, man. I call him like Rick Ross. You know Rick Ross. He got them soulful. You know what I'm saying? It's like it give me that kind of. Man, it's just, but it's just a true vibe, man. Look, y'all gotta. Look, hey, my man got a flight to catch. We got to get out of here. So we wrapping this up. This is the first time, but not the last time.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Part 1.
Hey, hello. So, hey, look, like I always tell y'all, man, hey, it's your boy DJ Majesty. Man, I'm solid, not potato salad. Hello.
Come on.
Vision Scope Podcast.